Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I got a breaking news story here for you. A CIA whistleblower dropped some bombs of information about Biden, Obama, Hillary Clinton. Supposedly got some real hard evidence. Now, this is about a 30-minute long clip. I can't describe to the 100% validity other than the proof that they involve in the video. They said this information is being passed up to a senator, hopefully one of the good guys and not one of the rhinos, but they didn't actually disclose names. But there is an absolute bomb drop coming soon from one of our senators if this story does pan out to be 100% true. Now, I got a few other things I wanted to bring to y'all as well, some highlights of some things that have happened in the last couple of days with Trump and over on the Gateway Pundit, and some just ends and breaking news type stuff. Just the headlines, but let's watch a few minutes of this, and you're welcome to come over to my Devoted Patriots 2 channel and watch the full video here.
Obama, Hillary, Brennan, that they actually executed SEAL Team 6 and covered it up, and there is audio, video, and documentary proof. Now, before I get into this, if you're new here, go ahead and tap that red button down below to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when the latest news breaks. Now, Anna Kate, she'll be joining me in just a moment. She tweeted out yesterday, and now the story is going viral across the web. She said, breaking, Alan Harrow Perot, CIA whistleblower, tells Charles Woods, the father of Tyrone Woods, who was killed in Benghazi, that Obama and Biden sent $152 billion as a cover-up for the deaths of SEAL Team 6. Allen said all of the proof will come out, documents and audio. Now, I'm going to play you the video that's attached here. Okay, video of the whistleblower's own words. But first, let's get some background. Kerry Donovan from DJHJ Media reports that the full interview of the CIA whistleblower interviewed by Charles Woods and Nicholas No surfaced on Sunday, where the three talk about the blackmail extortion of $152 billion sent to Iran to cover up the deaths of SEAL Team 6 by the Obama administration. Perot has extensive experience with the intelligence community, and he's planning on releasing the documents this week, and what he said are going to uncover numerous crime sprees. Now, I personally have confirmation that the whistleblower evidence is now in the hands of a member of Congress with the means to take action. And Perot said, of the evidence, a heavy price has been paid for what we are uncovering, and millions of people want to see the truth has to come out. Yes, the truth has to come out. Let's take a look now at the whistleblower before we get to Anna. We'll be right back with Anna after this.
You'd think you'd know not to lie about something so obvious. He said it was a Muslim burial at sea. Nonsense. And so this big lie that you see, Biden, Hillary, and Clinton worked this agreement with Iran. They trusted Iran to move bin Laden to Pakistan. He did. He was there. But then they trusted Iran to keep him there. They moved him out back to Iran. And then the communication from Iran to Obama was, hey, we got your neck in a noose. Give us all this money. $152 billion. $2 billion on an airplane pallet was paid out for the secrets I wish to reveal now and to the president under the terms of misprision and treason. That is to say, this is a secret. These are secrets worth $152 billion paid by President Obama. And Vice President Biden paid with the blood of SEAL Team 6 when he had them killed.
So it's blackmail and extortion.
Blackmail and extortion.
Yeah,
Iran commandeered.
We have the documents to
Yes.
Now,
Iran. Yes, sir.
Well, I was going to ask you, if you have those documents, are you willing to personally deliver those to President Trump if he were to provide the transportation and the guarantee of safety for you to do that?
Well, I'm not concerned about safety. There's always an invisible hand that protects us, and we're on the winning team. America's on the winning team.
Not one sparrow falls to the ground outside of God's will.
Yes. Yes. Uh, it would be my pleasure and my honor to bring this material to President Trump. There's a massive amount, terabytes, documents, video, audio. It needs to go to the president.
I will do everything that I can to get this video.
This guy needs a security team yesterday.
And now joining me is Anna Kate. Anna has personally seen and heard the evidence firsthand. She was there when the information was transferred to a person of influence in the United States government. Anna, break this all down for us. This is huge news. What are the implications for Obama, Hillary, Brennan? What did you hear on those audio recordings?
First of all, thank you, Gary, for having me on. I want to say this is the most explosive information that Americans and the entire world will ever hear. I have to say, these men are heroes. Alan, Charles, Nick, they are American heroes. It's an honor to even be a part of this. I was not expecting this at all. I was attending American Priority Conference in Florida. We're at Trump Doral, and they were the last ones to speak. Save the best for last, because shockingly, they gave this presentation, dropped this Benghazi bombshell on all of our heads, and we're all wondering what in the world just happened. I came up to honor these wonderful men. They're Christian men. They're spirit-filled men. As a Christian, I wanted to honor them as American patriots and heroes. And they basically said, "Hey, we need someone to help release this right now. Would you help us?" And so I jumped on the bandwagon. We got to my room right away, put this stuff out there. They showed me a lot of the documents. I heard the audios. I heard even more audios this morning. Gary, it is explosive. The audios that they have, I can't mention some of the names, but I'll tell you the biggest names in intelligence, the biggest names in the Obama administration, Brennan, Clinton. There's so much. It ties into Joe Biden. There is so much here. What this administration has done is absolute treason. Now, we all know, and not all of us actually in America are aware, that something was wrong with Benghazi. Okay, there were red flags there, and there was big red flags with SEAL Team 6 who took out Osama bin Laden. It was interesting timing right before Obama's re-election, how this bin Laden raid happened. But turns out that all of these stories, they're all linked together. This is the best kept secret in this country until now. It is time to come forward, and I'm so blessed that this man, Alan, who has an extensive history in the Middle East, over 20 years working intelligence in the Middle East, who, regrets some of the things that he has done, but has come forward as a Christian saying, it's time to release this information. He has thousands of files, thousands of documents that are in the hands of these whistleblowers. So it's a team effort, and a lot of media sources have this information.
A lot of media sources have this information. We just say teams of efforts. I love it, folks. That is what I want to hear. It is, once you get it out there, they can come get you because you got it out there. They come get you if you're hiding it, holding it, and they can get to you before you can get it out. Once it's out, you're pretty safe for the most part, I think, depending on the situation. But I'm glad to hear that they've now got a safe, comfortable buffer zone of amount of people that have this information, that are hearing this on the air somewhere, that are able to go research this and are sharing it. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take people sharing this for this to go viral, for Trump or someone in the know, maybe one of these senators or congressmen that ends up with this information firsthand, is going to bring it to the president or bring it to the floor of the House. I don't know how it's going to go down, folks, but it's coming out. Mark my words, folks. This stuff will not sit dormant. Now, whether these folks ever go to jail or not, I don't know, but I think the American people are going to find out that Biden, Obama, and Hillary Clinton are not just birds of a feather. They're three nasty buzzards. And they need to go to jail for a lot of things. And if we can prove they're criminals, we can prove just what we heard here, there's no reason things can't be handled. And I have to believe that. We'll have to see how things go with Pam Bondi and the team. Like I said, this is only 7 minutes in. This thing gets crazy. The audio on it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that and hope everybody comes over to my X channel and watches this entire clip. And when you're over there, give me a heart, give me a repost, leave me a comment, all that good stuff, and subscribe to my channel. It's free. All you got to do is hit the follow type button over here. I'm somewhere around 1,000 views or 1,000 subscribers over here, so followers. Now you may have seen this article from yesterday. As President Trump now demands Act Blue and Adam Schiff be thrown in jail, he had a nasty tweet. He was mad. You could tell. Crooked Adam Schiff responds in full panic. Yep, says President Donald Trump signed a powerful memorandum. Ooh, them are dirty. Trump filed a powerful memorandum last week ordering a full federal crackdown on illegal campaign donation practices, specifically targeting embattled Democrat fundraising platform Act Blue, calling for crooked Adam Schiff to be thrown behind bars. The directive comes amid mounting investigations led by Brian Stale, a Republican from Wisconsin, and 19 state attorneys general, including officials from Texas, of course, Ken Paxton, Arkansas, Florida, and Missouri, exposing explosive evidence that Act Blue was complicit in laundering illegal donations, including potentially illicit foreign money into Democrat campaign coffers across the country. The memorandum, as highlighted by the Gateway Pundit. And the federal law says this is illegal. You can't do it. Campaign contributions have to be limited to, well, you can't be doing it from overseas, for one thing. It says strictly prohibits making political contributions in the name of another person, as well as contributions by foreign nationals. It means the Chinese can't be buying our elections in theory, and they've been caught with the money. Press reports and congressional investigations have uncovered deeply troubling evidence that online fundraising platforms have enabled schemes to launder excessive and prohibited contributions. And you know, if they're stealing large amounts of money and they're taking this large amounts of money, big donations from, like, say, Soros, and they're saying Granny donated 5,000 times this year, $5 every time, so that's how they're laundering it. Do you think, since nobody knows how much money they started with, do you think all the money's actually going into campaigning? Or do you think they're pocketing some of that, or giving their brother, their sister, their uncle, their cousin a job, buying them a vehicle, giving them a job, pays a couple $100,000 a year to be liaison, security, counsel, whatever. That's what's really going on, folks. They all do it. Almost all politicians do that. But in reality, it's illegal. And I'm glad to see that they're going to crack down on this one way or another. I don't think they can do a full crackdown, but get a few picked off. Like Adam Schiff, he'll be the first one to go down behind this. But these big organizations is more of a problem than the individual politicians. We got to take Act Blue down. We got to take down, what's that other one? Well, there's several, but Democracy Docket with Mark Elias. There's a lot of those organizations like Perkins Coie law firm that we do not need to let have any more access into our government, because all they do is work with Democrats to bring lawsuits against Republicans, and a lot of times it's not even legit stuff. They just do it anyway. So we've got to be on the defensive and offensive behind these covert actors. And Act Blue was the reason the Democrats had so much money to hire the Beyoncés, and that's the fact, folks. Not that it worked, but if we took USAID out, now if we take out Act Blue, prove it is a fraudulent organization and it's money laundering, what will the Democrats do to get their money? They'll have to figure out a different way, and it'll be chaos until they do. They're going to get destroyed in 2026. That's what I have to believe. And in 2028, ought to be even better than that. And if Act Blue gets discovered to be a bunch of criminals, along with everybody in the party at the rate they're going. They're doing a lot of exposing, not too many lockups lately, but or yet, but lots of exposure. And I believe it's coming because with investigation and exposure should come indictments. I believe that's the reason we start a case. I believe we're dealing with a better team this time. That's where I have faith. It says these activities undermine the integrity of our electoral process. I directed the Attorney General in consultation with the Secretary of Treasury to use all of the lawful authority to investigate these allegations and take appropriate actions to enforce the law. So it needs to happen. This is ridiculous. Adam Schiff responds in kind after Trump throws out a treat. Here's Trump's tweet. Hopefully, Act Blue, the Democrats' illegal scam used to raise money, including from not allowed foreign contributions, is being looked at by authorities. The Dems only know how to win by cheating, something which they do better than any other group party in history. But now, with their terrible policies, candidates, with people like crooked Adam Schiff who demand a full pardon from Sleepy Joe leading the way, it's almost impossible to reach their money goals. The USA is wise to the scoundrels and crooks. Also, why did the auto pen give Schiff a pardon? The whole J6 committee a pardon. Biden knew nothing about it. Who operated the pen? That's the biggest question to ask, being asked in D.C. They almost destroyed our country. They should all be in jail. And so Trump's calling the auto pen illegitimate. And if the auto pen pardons are illegitimate, maybe Adam Schiff can go to jail. Now this here, it says Mike Powell, Executive Director of Heritage Oversight Project, swiftly rebuked Adam Schiff. Senator Schiff, you popped out of your chair and escaped the hearing from room right before I told you and all your colleagues that you had a funky pardon. I tried to warn you. Here we go. And Adam Schiff says, I'm being attacked. Let's see if this video will play. Adam Schiff says, I'm being attacked by Trump because of the economy. It's in a tailspin, and that's why he's so mad.
Recently, we released an investigation that discovered that the Biden White House made prolific use of an auto pen device to sign pardons and other presidential documents. Given President Biden's lack of mental capacity and proof that he himself was not signing the documents, President Trump has declared those pardons to be null and void. Now, this applies to the last-minute pardons of the January 6th committee. And Senator Schiff has stepped out, but this would apply to his pardon as well.
Yep, Schiff done took up out of the room. He don't want to hear that. He don't want to even be around that conversation. But you know that's weighing in his mind. You know it is. Trump says the polls are all liars. Adam Schiff needs to go to jail. And this bullshit is coming to an end. We are going to investigate and lock these crooked suckers up. Adam Schiff will probably go to jail for a half a dozen things. We just got to pick one. He had something to do with the auto. Sent one of his staffers down there to pardon him while Biden was out of town. So just in, President Trump calls for the person who operated Joe Biden's auto pen to go to jail. Now, who was in charge of the auto pen? That's the magic question. The Oversight Project, who I follow closely on X, pointed out that Neera Tanden, this lady here, was the White House staff secretary when Joe Biden auto pen pardons from a golf course in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Neera Tanden was a frequent mention in the leaked Podesta emails released by WikiLeaks. Tanden was one of the most vocal Russiagate conspiracy theorists. She's not only attacked Republicans while she was working for Hillary, but also went for the throat of Senator Bernie Sanders and his supporters. So she's a staunch Democrat. Last month, the Oversight Project revealed 6 criminals were pardoned by Biden's auto pen. While Biden was vacationing and golfing in St. Croix. And the list goes on, and they're finding out more and more. He wasn't there the day the auto pen was being juxed around. says right here, is Nero Tandem the key aide behind Biden's auto pen pardons? Tandem went to work as a key Biden White House staffer as she was forced to withdraw her nomination as OMB director. You were White House staff secretary when Biden auto pen pardoned from the golf course in USVI. The Oversight Project said in response to Nero Tandem's tweet, "This you?" Yep, there's the proof. Biden was out of town. There's the auto pen in use. Political reporter right there. Biden was definitely out of town. Auto pen still being used. Mm-hmm. So, more importantly, does this Nira retweets? More importantly, does this mean everything with a Trump auto pen signature is void in the administration and the last? Because there's a lot of auto pen in every administration. Fact be known, Trump says he hardly ever uses the auto pen. He said he doesn't like using it. So, you're wrong. We do a comparison. No. And Trump's got all his faculties, so that's not an issue. Says President Trump to sign an executive order on law and order holding sanctuary cities accountable for harboring illegal aliens. You probably heard this yesterday from Caroline Lovett if you watched one of her weekly reports. It's happening, folks. We are going to start sanctioning the sanctuary cities. That's right. That's what you do. Sanction the sanctuary cities. They like sanction. Here we go. It's coming down the pipe, folks. It's going to take a little time. It's going to take some back and forth in the courts, some suing, some injunctions, the whole appeal process, and then probably the Supreme Court once all said and done. Now, I don't know this particular Democrat. His name is Jerry Connolly, but he said he abruptly announced his retirement, will step down from the Oversight Committee due to his cancer diagnosis. So it looks like the Democrats just lost a seat. Now, I don't know how they fill the seat, how that goes about. Sorry to hear the guy has got cancer, but throat cancer. But hopefully he'll come to a speedy recovery. But I think his days in politics are over. I think it's all she wrote, folks. It's a done deal for him. He's out of there. That's one less dinosaur Democrat in the party. I'm okay with that, folks. I don't want to see nobody get cancer, but it's time for you to go, and you're a Democrat or a rhino. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Now, whether y'all know it or not, 60 Minutes and CBS got sued because of what 60 Minutes aired. They took Kamala Harris's conversation when she was running for president, and they butchered her words and to make it sound like something else. So they literally, after edited the supposed live 60 Minutes video. Well, Trump sued CBS behind this. He said it was unprofessional and deceptive at best. Well, the lawsuit was filed late in 2024, sparked a firestorm with Owens, who was the guy running, one of the producers over there at CBS. He said he was resigning after he was under pressure from the network brass. He was one of the he's one of the top guys there, but he was also a commentator. Owens did not go quietly telling employees that he was no longer allowed to make independent decisions. So this is what happens when you're a talking head and you're a puppet and you decide you want to think for yourself about anything that doesn't fit their narrative, their little speech. You can't ad lib. You're not allowed. You are a puppet when you work for CBS, ABC, NBC, a lot of these stations, even local Fox. This guy obviously didn't realize he was a puppet. He's mad at the situation. He was sitting here living a lie, telling lies, asking people shitty questions like they're a liar. And now he doesn't like the fact that Trump sued him and he's going to win for the whole defamation for a couple of things. Trump is actually suing for defamation. He's suing for being called a rapist. I think he won that one already with ABC. I think he's suing about 4 or 5 different major outlets, if not more than that, for about $1 billion, just for all the stuff they did to lie about him. They defamed him. They went out of their way to paint him out to be a criminal. They've accused him of things that he didn't do. You can't do that on television. It's slander and it's defamation, and they're going to pay for it. A lot of them have, and a lot of them will. 60 Minutes is in backpedal panic mode, and they're getting rid of some of their top money people over there. And one of their top guys on his way out, he's crying about I guess he's a puppet, and he didn't realize that he's not allowed to have a brain. You're not allowed to speak up for yourself. You're not allowed to have an opinion. You just work there, and that's what really happens in a big business a lot of times, especially with the fake news media. It's costing them big this time. I'm glad to see it. Yeah, this guy is crying big salty tears. See if we can get it to play without having to jump over to X.
Tonight's last minute, a note on Bill Owens, who until this past week was executive producer of 60 Minutes. He was our boss. Bill was with CBS News nearly 40 years, 26 years at 60 Minutes. He covered the world, covered combat, the White House. His was a quest to open minds, not close them. If you've ever worked hard for a boss because you admired him, then you understand what we've enjoyed here. Bill resigned Tuesday. It was hard on him and hard on us, but he did it for us and you. Stories we pursued for 57 years are often controversial. Lately, the Israel-Gaza war and the Trump administration. Bill made sure they were accurate and fair. He was tough that way. But our parent company, Paramount, is trying to complete a merger. The Trump administration must approve it. Paramount began to supervise our content in new ways. None of our stories has been blocked, but Bill felt he lost the independence that honest journalism requires.
There it is.
No one here is happy about it. But in resigning, Bill proved one thing. He was the right person to lead 60 Minutes all along.
He realized he was a puppet, didn't mind so much parroting the words, but when you had to be a mindless puppet, no matter what the issue is, the guy bowed out, and now they're trying to cover for it. It's a mess. They're going to lose their ass. 60 Minutes will not make it. I do not believe. I believe that show is going to eventually go by the wayside. I don't think CBS will go by the wayside, but I think they will be downscaling a lot of their local stuff and relying on things like Paramount Plus, because that's their moneymaker. But truth be known, I'm glad to see it. Trump is suing. They're panicking. People are getting fired. People are resigning. People are offended that they're no longer, I think it's funny that they were offended that they were not allowed to have an opinion. These guys are just talking heads. I would think they would know that after doing it for 20 years, knowing they're lying to the public and reading what's on the paper, whether it's true or false or something in between. These people are morons. I'm just glad to see it. Down with fake news. That's what I say. Down with fake news. I think Trump coined the term fake news. Now check this out. Major SmackDown alert. Stephen Miller does it again. Fake news reporter in utter shambles. Check this out. This is so good. I thought this was great.
Is it the best use of the administration's resources to be going after moms of young kids, basically?
Do you yourself have an opinion on the subject?
I'm more interested in yours.
Well, what percentage of let's just pick an even number of, say, 10 million illegal aliens. Let's say that Biden released, I think it's closer to 20 million. Let's say he released 10 million illegal aliens into the country over the last 4 years. What percentage do you think we should let stay here of those 10 million?
I'm not trying to do a game show.
No, but I'm saying, no, but...
if you think that's the best use of
Well, hold on, but
dollars.
is it your view that if a Democrat president releases 10, 15, 20 million illegals into the country, that they all then should get to stay forever and for all of life?
Stephen, I don't have a view about what Democratic presidents do. I'm asking what the Republican president
does.
Okay,
so you don't want to answer the question because you know the answer is obvious. Everyone that Biden let in has to go home. Of course. I mean, it's a crazy thing to even ask. You think we should give administrative amnesty to some subset of the illegals that Biden... Here's how we're prioritizing it. ICE is going to continue to focus on raids against high-threat criminal aliens. We're going to use the entire force and power of the federal government to get them all home. Many will choose also to leave voluntarily and take advantage of the CBP Home app. But we are not going to ask taxpayers to subsidize the presence of a single illegal alien in this country.
That's right. I like it. Yeah, that guy couldn't answer the question. So is it okay to let 20 million people in? You okay with just leaving them here? Letting them live on the welfare system for 20 years? Our country can't pay for that. We can't manage welfare for people that haven't paid their way. And that's just a fact, folks. Now, I just wanted to bring this to y'all. Charlie Kirk put this out yesterday. Several different podcasters did, but I want to be one of the podcasters that put this out without the blur because I want to let everybody see who these people are. These people are a bunch of criminals. They've all been arrested, and I believe about 99% of them have been deported as well. These are murderers involved in homicides, murders, rape, human trafficking, child molestation, and it just goes on and on and on and on. Violence to a child. These are bad folks. Yeah, this is crazy, folks. First 100 days, 100 posters at the White House. Just to let people know, this is what the Trump administration is doing. White House commemorates the first 100 days in office by displaying the mugshots of the worst who have been arrested and deported, including fentanyl dealers, child rapists, and murderers, and much worse. Wow. That's what I got for you today, folks. Hopefully everybody had a great day. Just trying to put these criminals out there a little bit before we jump out of the video. Let's scroll through one more time. But I do encourage everybody to go back and watch that very first video that I put on here today. This one here. Like I said, it's 30 minutes long. We watched about the first 7 minutes of it. I'll show you, folks. Scroll right, just come over to my page and scroll right on down to right below Stephen Miller's bald head. It's called Phoenix Dragon was the channel. But you're welcome. Come on over here and watch the full thing. That's what I got for you. Everybody have a great day. Like, subscribe, and share.